Hello, fellow Cravers. It's part 2 of our year in review as we head to April, May, and June. Usually, these are the months that we start to see things settle down. But with a disappointing start of the year, did things start to pick up in time for convention season? We headed into April with things being a bit down in gaming as we were still waiting for that next big game to really make an impact. But it didn't stop things getting weird in some news stories, including Xbox commissioning a Doom crossover painting, the Queen's Nintendo Wii being up for sale, oh it's a golden one by the way, someone baking millions of pies in Lord of the Rings Online, and Nintendo copyrighting Bowser's penis. But one news story to really take my attention was about a movie called Colette, a short documentary that ended up winning the Best Short Subject Documentary at the Oscars. What does this have to do with gaming? Well, it was co-produced by Oculus and Respawn Entertainment for Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, making this the first Oscar awarded to a video game related project. Onto games itself, 3 stood out the most in April. First released on April 1st, we have Outriders from People Can Fly, who brought us Bulletstorm, and co-develops Gears of War and the better parts of Fortnite. This time bringing us Outriders, an online-only co-op action RPG where you take the role of a settler on the Earth of the planet of Enoch to see if it's suitable for the human race to move to. You get stuck in an anomaly, a massive and deadly energy storm, which gives you and others supernatural powers. The game was critically mixed, with many comparing it to Destiny and The Division, but it was still highly popular, with it attracting 100,000 players at launch. Another game that took our interest was Returnal, a PlayStation 5 exclusive from House Marquee that had you trapped in a time loop, with your restarting from the beginning every time you died. Returnal ended up receiving general favourable reviews, but was criticised for its lack of a save feature, having you have to play the game in one sitting. Well, even after this, it still ended up winning the Game Awards Best Action Game. Finally, for April, we want to highlight a game many had been asking for and were not disappointed, as we had the return of Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo Switch. For those who don't know what this is, it's a new way to catch Pokemon, this time with a camera, as you sit in a railed track through multiple different biomes at different times of the day, take photos of those pocket monsters in the wild. The game brought us pretty much the same mechanics that made us love the original game, this time bringing more Pokemon and areas to entertain us. As expected, the game got mostly positive reviews, with it selling 4 times as many physical copies as the original did in the UK. With the end of spring came one of the biggest feuds in gaming this year. It wasn't between fellow streamer players or game characters, oh no, this was between corporations, as the trial of Epic Games versus Apple was held from the 3rd to the 24th. This all began last year with Epic trying to bypass Apple's revenue cut on the purchase of V-Bucks for Fortnite, by allowing you to buy them through Epic's store, prompting Apple to block the game from its App Store due to them purposely breaching its terms of contract. More on this on the next episode. As for the games, 3 stood out in May, one weird, one surprisingly good, and another living up to its hype. We start off with the one game that surprised us. For this, there was a game that screamed a Fortnite but type of game. But Knockout City turned out to be a really fun free-to-play game, bringing dodgeball to the gaming universe with power-ups, charge moves, timed catches, all in a 4v4 setting. I would still play it time and time again. For a free game, it's a lot of fun. Next, we have the weird, yet became a hit thanks again to the streaming community, as those who thought that a game about cleaning would be a game highlight not only for May but maybe for the year. Power Wash Simulator is a simulation game in the town of Muckingham. where you take control of a small power washing business and take jobs up for a variety of clients in different locations, removing dirt from various objects ranging from houses to a Mars rover. The game received mostly positive reviews, but like we mentioned, it got its push thanks to various streamers playing the game. Finally, for May, we have the game that did not surprise us that it would be a Game of the Year contender, as we get set to head back to the world of Resident Evil as we come to an end, of the current arc of Even Winters in Resident Evil Village. The game took all our interest thanks to a tall vampire mama, Lady Demetrius. But once the game released, we realised that this was just the tip of the iceberg of what the game had to offer, bringing us a great storyline, a new twist to the threat in the Resident Evil universe, and a refreshing change that was needed for the franchise. It was no wonder the game was up for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and I cannot wait to see what the next chapter brings. It's the summer, which usually means one thing in gaming, and that is gaming conventions, with us having the Summer Game Fest thanks to Jeff Keighley, and the somewhat return of E3, with a couple of major names stepping away from the biggest gaming expo, most noticeably Sony. Talking about Sony, the year of acquisitions continued as they purchased House Marquee to merge it with its PlayStation studios. But like always, it's about the games, and June did not let us down, as we had two games that stood out in June. First being the return of combining golf with the Mario universe in Mario Golf Super Rush. This is the first time Mario Golf has been on a home console since the GameCube in 2003. Just like the series' predecessors, the game takes an arcade-like approach to the golf, bringing the super shots, giving the player the ability to hit the ball further. The game ended up getting generally favourable reviews from critics, with many praising the game's gameplay and, surprising for a Nintendo game, its online functionality. But it's not the only big game to grace us in June, as Ratchet & Clank returned in Rift Apart. The PlayStation 5 exclusive title continued off where the 2006 reboot left off, having us traverse through different dimensions thanks to Dr. Nefarious' Dimensionator and Ratchet's shoot first, think later attitude to the situation. The game itself received generally favourable reviews, with particular praise given to its visuals, combat and technical advancements, making the game a must-buy for anyone with a PlayStation 5, as it is probably to this date the best game to take advantage of what the next gen's power gives us. So there we have it, we are halfway through 2021 with a lot more interesting things to talk about in the second half. So join us next week for the next 3 months as we continue through the summer with more gaming conventions and a particular uproar from a certain big studio. So please comment, like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Until next time, to be continued.